CBS 2's Serene Branson is live at the Staples Center with highlights and backstage coverage we're seeing for the very first time. Serene.
Well, a very, very heavy divertation tonight. We had a very daring fight. Let's go to Terrace Chase English for the bit, the head of the pit.
CBS 2's Serene Branson is live at the Staples Center with highlights and backstage coverage we're seeing for the very first time. Serene.
Well, a very, very heavy divertation tonight. We had a very daring fight. Let's go to Terrace Chase English for the bit, the head of the pit.
Excuse me.
Well, a very, very heavy divertation tonight. We had a very daring fight. Let's go to Terrace Chase English for the bit, the head of the pit.
Excuse me.
Well, Wisconsin has officially joined 25 other states in a lawsuit against President Obama's healthcare reform law. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming The Exorcist, Saw unto Stracho, and Play Springriff by Health Urgent. Well, Wisconsin has officially joined 25 other states in a lawsuit against President Obama's healthcare reform law. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming The Exorcist, Saw unto Stracho, and Play Springriff by Health Urgent. The states claiming The Exorcist, Saw unto Stracho, and Play Springriff by Health Urgent.
Mark McAllister, Global News.
Now, Defense Minister McLeod did confirm today that more than 54 18 fighter jets are spending about as much as 20 and ready to assist the 100 deployed over the amount needed. Now, it did depend that how the NOLAN remerges RN while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all batteries in the hues of the Garvins of today. Excuse me. I'll hand it back to you. Now, Defense Minister McLeod did confirm today that more than 54 18 fighter jets are spending about as much as 20 and ready to assist the 100 deployed over the amount needed. Now, it did depend that how the NOLAN remerges RN while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all batteries in the hues of the Garvins of today. Excuse me. I'll hand it back to you.
And now a very nice lady who is a columnist on the New York Journal American, and she looks very staid here, but she's a pretty wild girl. There's Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, a very charming gentleman who's just come up from the South and is about to go back to Fort Lauderdale and Miami to lecture to professors. Sir. That's Stur. I'm sorry. And on my left, a very charming gentleman who's just come up from the south and is about to go back to Fort Lauderdale and Miami to lecture to professors. Sir, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Wipe the drool.
I was in a trance.
Yeah, wipe the drool there, I know. We looked
There
at
we
the
go.
rings for me, I couldn't tell.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Okay.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Wipe the drool.
I was in a trance.
Yeah, wipe the drool there, I know. We looked
There
at
we
the
go.
rings for me, I couldn't tell.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Okay.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Wipe the drool.
I was in a trance.
Yeah, wipe the drool there, I know.
Necelou hodinu trvala schůzka prezidenta Václava Klause s lídry koalice na Pražském hradě. Téma bylo jediné: řešení současné politické krize. Důvěra lidí ve vládu je podle prezidenta vážně narušená a hrozí rozvrat české politiky. Na Pražském hradě je i kolegyně Jana Čermáková. Jano, dobrý den. Komentovali politici nějak vzájemné jednání?
Hezké poledne z Pražského hradu. Vůbec nekomentovali. Když přijeli, neřekli vůbec nic. Václav Klaus, když je přijímal, jen poznamenal, že v podstatě pro novináře nemá žádné sdělení, ale že je rád, že všichni tři pánové pozvání na Pražský hrad přijali. Ta schůzka trvala, jak už bylo řečeno, v podstatě 45 minut. A když odjížděli, zkoušeli jsme se zeptat premiéra Petra Nečase, jestli by to nekomentoval, neřekl pár slov. Řekl, že zatím nikoli, že až po jednání odpoledním ve formátu pravděpodobně o něch K12, tedy 4 zástupci z každé ze 3 koaličních stran v Kramářově vile. To by mělo začít ve 12 hodin a 30 minut. Nedověděli jsme se nic, dá se tedy předpokládat, že odpoledne budeme úspěšnější. A teď se pojďme podívat na to, co přinesly poslední hodiny na české politické scéně. Nedověděli jsme se nic, dá se tedy předpokládat, že odpoledne budeme úspěšnější. A teď se pojďme podívat na to, co přinesly poslední hodiny na české politické scéně.
Conflicting reports, many of them saying Caroline Kennedy is not going to try to go to the Senate. and a do-over also for President Barack Obama, retaking the oath of office. Chief Justice Roberts, with reporters present, administering the oath, getting the words right, unlike me this time, launched a high-profile bid to be named Secretary of State, Secretary of State Clinton's old Senate seat. Kennedy will continue to work her sources. The breaking news, conflicting reports, some saying Caroline Kennedy now says she doesn't want Hillary Clinton's Senate seat. Others say that is not true. They're not sure where that story came from. We're going to try to figure out fact from fiction ahead. Obama made the dancing look easy last night. We cannot exactly say the same for the vice president. Next on the program, the style and substance of the new First Family, from Michelle Obama's agenda to the big surprise for Sasha and Malia at the White House last night. Here's a hint. It was the Jonas Brothers. Conflicting reports, many of them saying Caroline Kennedy is not going to try to go to the Senate. And a do-over also for President Barack Obama, retaking the oath of office. Chief Justice Roberts, with reporters present, administering the oath, getting the words right, unlike me this time.
In Russia, as well as in the West, research has been underway for many years in biological synthesis, that is, artificial life forms. And according to high intelligence, a stunning breakthrough took place in Russia some years ago. The computer brain of a robotoid possesses an enormous memory. As a result, robotoids can be programmed to communicate and think in such complex patterns that they act human. Organic robotoids are remarkable creatures, but they have many drawbacks. They don't grow or reproduce, but must be manufactured one by one in the desired form. They also have a very limited lifespan, measured in months or even weeks, depending upon how they are utilized. This is due to the fact that their metabolism, while it resembles that of humans, is very inefficient. A robotoid can be manufactured on very short notice, a matter of hours. But after a few weeks or months, it suddenly begins to degenerate physically and mentally. When that takes place, the robotoid has to be removed from service and disposed of. To extend its useful life as much as possible, a robotoid is customarily cooled down to slow its metabolism between assignments. Organic robotoids are extremely expensive, troublesome creatures to produce and utilize. And robotoid capabilities do not exceed those of human beings. All they can really do is simulate human beings. But my friends, for intelligence purposes, that's all they have to do. To produce an organic robotoid, it is necessary to have a pattern to go by. The pattern required is that of genetic coding, taken from a few cells from the body of a human being. In this respect, the Russian technique sounds like cloning, but the technique itself is totally unrelated to genuine cloning. A robotoid is produced within a matter of hours, and it simulates the human donor at his current age. Like any man-made copy of anything, a robotoid is never a perfect copy of the human that is to be simulated. There's always small discrepancies in appearance and behavior, but these are seldom great enough to arouse any suspicion. Last month, I revealed that the Russians can manufacture organic robotoids, which are almost exact carbon copies of real human beings. This is done by a process that simulates the genetic coding of the person to be copied. It sounds a little like cloning, but it's not. A clone of a human would itself be a human, but an organic robotoid is not human. It's an artificial life form, like an animal in some ways, but like a computerized machine in others. Every Russian robotoid has what is called a holographic brain. This brain duplicates essentially the entire memory of a person being copied. The key to doing this is a new technique called an ultrasonic cerebral hologram. Using high-frequency sound waves, which are inaudible, a complete three-dimensional picture is made of a person's brain. This is a painless, non-destructive process, and under the proper conditions, it can be done without the person even being aware of it. Last month, I revealed that the Russians are using Nelson Rockefeller's hit list to weed out Bolsheviks here in America. And for roughly 3 years, they have been preparing for this day. Organic robotoids are such amazing creatures that they are still a subject of questioning and debate.